Okay, I wanted to try the Imaginarium theater for this patch. Usually when I do it, I don't have enough built characters to get to the third part, because you know how it's gonna show up. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so it's easy mode, normal mode, and hard mode. I usually don't have enough built characters to get to hard mode, so I'm just gonna get to normal mode. I am excited, however, to see how far I can get in normal mode, because usually I get to the second to last diamond before the last boss fight, but there have been times where I stop at the diamond right after the first boss fight, if you guys can visualize that properly. I was having a hard time here with what characters I should choose, because I didn't like any of the available characters that I had, because I know for a fact that I did not build them well. But I didn't really have much of a choice, so I chose what I could, and I kept going. And honestly, I'm proud of how I did. I mean, I didn't get super far. I stopped when I didn't feel like doing this anymore, but I think I did pretty well. And a few of the diamonds, the axe, took me a few tries to get it done, and I had to get used to some of the characters because I didn't know how strong or powerful they would be. But after I got that down, I think I really started to do pretty well. Okay, so I got started, and I didn't want to use characters that were too powerful, but I still didn't have a good idea of how strong the trial versions were. So I picked and chose based on how they look. I assumed 2 characters that would be super powerful and 2 that wouldn't be. And if they're really great, then I'm just not going to use them in the next act and save them for the boss fight. Yeah. I was really happy to see a Ruin Guard, even though it's one of my least favorite ones. I like the original normal version the most, but I was still really happy to see a Ruin Guard because I really like them. I feel like they're easy to beat, and I don't know, it's so satisfying killing a Ruin Guard. I don't like these though. I don't know, I guess they're not super difficult. I don't like that swinging with their head and tail, but I guess you can say they're just like another version of Ruin Guard. I don't really like them. I don't like the flying ones either. Oh, I didn't like that move. I think that's why. I think it's the kinds of moves that they do. It's just, it's not as easy to take care of in comparison to a normal Ruin Guard. I went with Tartaglia Child because I did this same pattern for every time I had to choose a character. I just chose the one that I knew was better built. I wasn't sure which mystery cachet to do, and I chose this one because it says restores 1 vigor, and I saw the loses 5%, but I didn't care too much about it, which was one of my biggest mistakes, because I underestimated how often the character would crit, and I think that it affected all the other characters on the team as well, so that was not good. And even if it didn't, it still made Auroron lose health really fast, because I just didn't expect him to crit so often. But he did have, because of it, he did end up getting another life. And so I went along, and I didn't know this at the time. It was after this fight that I found that I realized it was like really hurting me. But because he got another life, I included him on my team, and I kind of just aimed for the people who had 2 lives so that I'm not eliminating anyone too soon. And you know, I have the boss fight right after, so I wanted to save people just in case. Got a good handle on everyone's fighting ability, how good of a build the game gave us. So yes, I think fighting this one it didn't leave any particular impression on me, but I did pretty well. Okay, it was pretty easy. I think it's probably Sino, honestly. Do I have Sino? I can't recall. But sometimes the game gives us characters that are pre-built, and the build is just not that amazing. And I know I'm not really one to talk since I'm not that great of a builder, but I know that there are people out there who are good at building, and their characters are stronger than the characters that the game gives us. So I know for a fact that the game just sometimes doesn't do too well, you know. Not that it's anything bad. They try. They it's probably just a textbook version of what the character should be built like. Okay, this one, I was hesitant to choose it, but I was like, okay, I might as well try. The other one seemed difficult, and I had to be careful with my selection here. I mean, even if I didn't like it, I could always go back, but I was trying to avoid doing that. Even so, that's still exactly what I did. I ended up going back and restarting a bunch of times because look at this. As you can see, that move that I just did had little to no effect on him, because when he's preparing in the beginning, any move I do does no damage on him, but the timer at the side for the star, it still goes on and on. So I wasn't getting a good start on him, in my opinion, and the timer was running out really fast. So I think I just needed good characters and good technique. So I did change my characters. I changed to Sina and Farina and Alhaitham. I went for characters that I knew was gonna do damage. My goal was damage. And so I waited until he actually got up and started moving around so that I could start attacking. And I think that was honestly the best move, because after that I was really getting a good grip on him and his health bar. And I was at it was at 20 seconds at this point, and I was pretty close to the end. So I was just spamming it. If someone came up to have their elemental burst like Sino here, I just used it immediately. And honestly, I don't know how I was healing. I'm pretty sure it was Farina, because I think Farina can heal, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm not used to her playstyle. I don't know how to use her completely. I mean, I love her and I'm really happy to have her, but I still need to understand how she works. And someone in the comments actually mentioned Fenonia or Osea or Us. It's some sort of mechanic that applies to Fontaine characters or just Fontaine in general. But someone in the comments mentioned that, and I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that Fontaine had something like that. So I have to do more research on that topic, get an idea of how I can utilize her abilities properly, and just maybe the other Fontaine characters I have as well, which would be great. So thank you so much, commenter, for telling me that. This is okay. I really like I did have to restart, like, I don't know, I think twice, but I really like the protecting the ley line ones, because one, even though, what am I saying one for? I'm not going to list anything. Even though the ley line health goes down very fast when the enemies attack, the method isn't to try and kill as many enemies as you can to stop them from like attacking the ley line. The method is to distract them. Attack them hard enough or often enough in the very beginning, which is great that I have Kaching, because her elemental birds got their attention immediately each time. But as I was saying, the method is to distract them, because once their attention is on you, they start attacking you and leaving the ley line alone. So I really just gotta stall for time. It would get a little difficult when I would kill a slime and a new slime would show up. Even though that does decrease the time by I think like 8 seconds, it would make it difficult to gain the attention of the new slime without losing the attention of that massive mechanic monster and the other slime. So I think this is my second time retrying, but it's okay. Maybe third time's the charm, fourth time's the charm, fifth time's the charm. You just gotta keep trying. So that's exactly what I did, and I eventually got it. Honestly, I really think it was a good idea of past me to choose Kaching, because I was going to choose Kaveh at first. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll do Kaching. So it all worked out pretty well. And oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say that the ley line was still at 100%, but immediately as soon as I started talking, it started decreasing. But it's still not at 35, and we have 7 seconds. So I think I started relaxing here and not rushing as much, because no matter what, they can't get from 84 to 34 in 2 seconds. That doesn't make sense. So I did lose Mualani, Auroron, and I'm gonna be honest, I forgot her name. What was it? Oh, Yao Yao, I think it is. She's so cute. But I lost her. And that leaves me with Farina, Alhaitham, and other characters that I am struggling to remember at the moment. Eventually, at some point though, I think it was at the next diamond, the one that I'm about to go to, that I ended up being left with characters that's just not gonna do well by me for what I need them for. Basically, the enemy that I'm gonna be fighting in that limited amount of time that they give me, it's just not gonna work out with the characters that I have left. I was really, really happy to have like 3 free mystery caches in a row, but I don't know if they made much of a difference. I'm really bad at noticing the difference when it comes to these mystery caches. I feel like they're supposed to have the same effect that the cards from the TCG, I think it's called, this TCG card game has the same effects, like the support, but I never notice whatever the mystery cache does for me unless they're reviving a character or giving them like an extra thing or doing whatever nonsense they did with my Auroron last time, every time he crit and taking away his health. I mean, I know I read the terms and conditions, but like, come on. Come on. This was so fun to me. Like I said before, I love fighting ruin guards, and I seriously enjoyed it. The problem was that they needed 5 enemies to be defeated, and that just wasn't going to happen. So I left. I wasn't going to waste any time with it, and I was going to get the rewards for what I already did, those 4 portions, the axe. I was already going to get the rewards if I ended it right there. So I did exactly that, and I went to get my rewards. I got a few hundred. Let me see. Okay, it wasn't a whole lot. Okay, I got 280, which is still really, really good. Especially when you're low on Prima Gems, every piece makes a difference. I really want to get to those other parts, but that's going to have to wait until I become a better builder. Wolfie is so cute. I'm sorry, I had to mention that. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If you loved me, then go ahead and subscribe. Comment if you want. I love talking to you guys. And bye-bye.